Hello everyone. So let's talk about some advanced things we can do with quantum neurology. So most people are going to benefit from quantum neurology care simply because when your nerves are online 100% and they're working the way they should, and it takes less energy for them to do what they need to do, then you're going to have more energy and resources for other parts of your body. So most people who come in and get quantum neurology care notice immediately that their muscles are stronger. There's a pre-test and a post-test. Every time we make a correction, we're going to check a muscle strength. And if it's cranials that we're checking, we're going to put your arm out and we're going to push your arm down and like do a sensory or muscle like reflex or introduce a smell or like check hearing, and we're going to test your strength on your arm, because if it takes too much energy to smell something or hear something, or when you're feeling something on your face or jaw jerk, your arm's going to just drop, and it's going to be like, oh weird, I thought I was stronger than that. And it's like I'm just using enough pressure to push down on a keyboard, like a key on a piano. That's all the pressure I'm using, but the arm just drops. It's amazing, and you'll feel that, you'll notice that. Sometimes it's a little more subtle, but when we do the correction, you'll notice that, oh wow, that was a lot easier for me to hold that arm up, and I don't know why, but that's essentially what we're doing, is we're upregulating it, we're making it easier. So most people can feel the change as we challenge it, but in between visits, is there something that you necessarily feel? The change can be very subtle, and in some people, they can feel like they're walking different. Some people notice that they're hearing better. I had one patient who had ringing in the ears. We did a little bit of hearing stuff that went away and resolved, which was fabulous. We love it when that happens. We've had so many good cases, and I should probably include some of those. I'll make another video of the cool cases of what we've seen with quantum neurology. The most profound one is when people have vestibular injuries and their eyes are not tracking with the object. And if the object is here and your eyes are here, they should move smoothly together. But sometimes the eyes will do this thing called saccades, where they kind of do this almost like a water sprinkler, like that. And if the eyes are not focused on the object, obviously you're going to have some fuzzy vision. Your brain will work really hard to fill in the blanks and kind of make up what it thinks it should see, but it's not very focused and it's a little bit fuzzy. You don't even notice that it's fuzzy until after the correction has made, and then you're like, oh wow, that just popped for me. So one of my patients, a favorite story, hadn't seen her in like 4 or 5 years. She came in, and she said, oh, by the way, Dr. Heather, I had a stroke since the last time I saw you. And I was like, oh, let's check your eyes and your eye movement and your eye tracking. So we just checked that, and I was like, you know what, let's just fix this, because sometimes you don't know what you're missing until you have it corrected. So I just said, let's just fix this. And so we did the eye tracking fix, and she called me when she got home. She said, Dr. Heather, I could see road signs clearly on the way home. And I was like, oh boy, that means you weren't seeing them clearly before. That's a little concerning, but yes, we love it when that happens. That happens a lot, and yes, isn't that great? So on occasion, she still needs a little tune-up or a little fix-up, but it's not very often, and that can make a huge difference in somebody's life if you're not seeing things clearly. So doing a screen for that is free. I'll do a screen to see if you have saccades. No problem. Just if you think you might have it or need it, let me know. So advanced stuff that we can do with chiropractic neurology, quantum neurology, is something called ERACE. When we have a shoulder or a hip that's giving us pain and we have arthritis. Typically arthritis is from the joint not knowing where it is in space, and this is called proprioception. Knowing where we are in space keeps the joint from slamming into the other bone, if you will, And if we keep having those bones slam into each other, it really, really hurts. And the muscles are supposed to keep things from slamming, and they keep them lined up so that they'll slow down and not slammed, if that makes sense. So what we do is we upregulate the proprioception. So without giving too much away, ERACE is eccentric, relaxation, and concentric elongation. So the long and the short is we have concentric contraction, like let's say the bicep. We know the bicep does this, right? So concentric contraction is doing this. I'm pulling on a weight, I'm lifting up against resistance. We're doing a contraction of the bicep, okay? Eccentric contraction is when the bicep is having resistance, and let's just say I have a weight in my hand, I'm slowly releasing the muscle. It's called eccentric contraction. And we have to have proprioception of where we are in space as things are happening. And there's two muscles that are really involved here, and a lot of people don't realize that when you're doing bicep curls, the triceps has to relax as well. And so if the tricep is not relaxing as the bicep is, doing it's a dance. It's really a dance. It's two people. They have to dance together. As one contracts, the other has to relax. And when one is relaxed, and then they need to go like this, because if they're bumping, you're just slamming those bones together. That's not good. So ERACE resets the proprioceptive input of the joint and the biceps and the triceps, or whatever muscle opposers there are. So we do correction while we're doing concentric, like this and like that, and then like this and like that. And then we do that in all the ranges of motion for the shoulder so that it doesn't hurt when you move the shoulder. So we've had a ton of success with that. That's fantastic. Not a lot of people know about it, and I just haven't taken the time to explain it. So if you think you need ERACE, just let me know. It does take a little more time. It's probably a 10 to 15 minute appointment, so it is a little extra. Sorry, I wish I could give, everything for free, but I can't, because time is valuable, and I wish I could fix everybody all the time, but I can't. So we need to just schedule time and make sure that we don't short you of your visit and your productivity on your progress. Okay, so that is ERACE. We also have a treatment for neuropathy. Now, neuropathy is the body's cry for better information. When you're having pain or numbness in like your feet or your hands, it means that it's not getting the information it needs. There are many different senses, right? We have touch, right? Taste, sight, smell, all those. But in touch, we actually have a bunch in there. We have light touch, we have deep touch, we have proprioception, we have sensitivity to sharp, and we've got hot and cold. So all of those need to be rehabilitated. If you think of each of those 7 senses, different types of touch sense that we have, and you think about them as a different color on like a glove or something, we need to map out where all of those and or are not getting good information in, and then we need to rehabilitate all of those. So that one takes a lot more time as well, but yes, we can take care of neuropathies. So if that interests you, definitely let us know. Trying to think of what else right now. I haven't learned melt, but come September, please ask me about that. That's muscle elongation technique, and that can help elongate a muscle. I haven't learned that one yet, but I'm really excited about that one. So ERACE and melt. So gap is another one that can, and yeah. So if I've ever been adjusting you in one place and you feel pain in another, that's what we call a gap. It's a anchor point. It's a Gonzalez anchor point. When, let's just say I move your hips, or I move your knees, or maybe I adjust your neck and you feel pain right there. Let's just say, okay, as an example, and it might not be those locations, but if I adjust you one place and you feel it somewhere else, that's called a gap. Typically there's something hung up there, and neurologically that needs to be fixed. We can fix that actually at your visits with the Quantum Neurology as well. Just let me know, hey, Dr. Heather, when you do that, it hurts me here. So that's usually a gap, and we can correct that as well. So, questions, comments, scathing rebuttal, please jump onto Heather Ingebretson DC on Facebook. Send me a message or comment. I don't know if you can comment below as well, and I will check those on a somewhat regular basis, or you can ask me when you come in for your next visit. And I will try to get more video content out there so that you guys have more information about quantum neurology. All right? See you next time.